5 hits, no errors. The Detroiters have 2 runs and 6 hits and no errors. We're in the 7th inning in Baltimore. And a breaking ball grabs the inside corner on Whitaker. Count even on him at 1-1. Third baseman Gomez in close, but Lou steps out now. Time called at the plate. Swing, one hopper, hit the deep second. Glove there by Bell. The throw to Davis is in plenty of time. 2 down. Incaviglia bats, but before he gets up there, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. And this is WJR Detroit with information and entertainment every midday at Jimmy Lance, Warren Pierce, and J.P. McCarthy spoken. If you missed a day, you missed a lot on Radio 760 WJR. New pitcher coming on now for Baltimore, and what a job the young left-hander did. Poole, he came on in the 6th inning with 2 men on and nobody down, and he got them all out and got the first 2 men in the 7th. So we'll have a new pitcher. This is Williamson, I think, coming on for the Birds. All right, Paul.
Yeah, Mark Williamson will be coming on to warm up here for Baltimore now in the 7th with right-handed hitting Incaviglia and Fielder due up next in the order. 2 out, nobody on, not because of anything that Poole did, but he did the job as he went an inning and 2/3 and did not allow a run. He gave up no hits. He walked 1 and struck out 3 while he was in there. And now it's up to Mark Williamson to protect that 3-2 Baltimore lead. The pitcher of record in this game is Jim Poole now. And Williamson will come on and do what he does best, and that is pitch in long relief. Williamson has worked 64 times this year. He's won 5 and lost 5. Williamson has finished off 20 games, has 3 saves to his credit. Earned run average of 4.50 for Mark Williamson. See if we can find out what Williamson has done lately in the most recent game, October 1st at New York. He faced Bob Guerin, and Guerin hit a sacrifice fly that won the ball game for the Yankees in the 11th inning. In his previous outing against the Tigers in Detroit, in long relief, Williamson went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 hits and 1 run. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Williamson had been on the disabled list in August, removed on the 1st of September when the roster limits came off. He had a strained lateral oblique muscle, the muscle connecting the pelvis to the ribs. And that's a painful area, and certainly one that would prevent him from pitching at all. Williamson is ready to take over against Pete Incaviglia with 2 out and nobody on. Ernie?
Well, here's Akey stepping up now. He struck out twice and flied to left field. The Tigers are trailing by a run, 3-2. Batting in the first half of the 7th inning in Baltimore's Memorial Stadium. And Williamson looking in to get his sign. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball low. We've got another cloud enveloping the lower deck. They're cooking something down there. This is the second time we've had a big cloud of smoke come up. I think
I hope
Italian sausage.
I hope that's the case, and not the stadium is on fire, Ernie.
Here's the pitch. Wait a minute, we're getting some instructions. What is it? Oh, it's the vent from the concession stand, and they vent it out into the crowd.
Well, that's a nice area to see.
Yeah, there's the ball outside. So we know what they're having to eat down there.
They should be ticketed for air pollution.
2-1 the count on Incaviglia. 2 out, nobody on. Williamson, the thin right-hander, sets now and pitches. There's a strike on the outside corner. Williamson, born in Corpus Christi about 32 years ago. Got his start in the San Diego system. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Baltimore batting in the 7th. They lead 3-2.
fought over on the Mayflower and shared on the first Thanksgiving. Enjoyed by Puritans and pirates, it figured prominently throughout our nation's history. Our founding fathers thought highly of beer. In fact, the Continental Congress made it a part of every American soldier's daily ration. Our first president had his own private recipe. Over the next 2 centuries, brewing grew with the country, earning recognition as an important American industry. Today, it's served on the tables of nearly 2/3 of our country's families and enjoyed by 80 million Americans every year. And from the very start, it's always been meant for responsible adults. Beer. It's a good part of a good life.
Message from Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you know there are only 44 sounds in the English language? 44. And when you learn these 44 sounds called phonics, you can read and spell almost everything. That's why Hooked on Phonics is so successful. We've set these 44 sounds to music, making learning to read simple and fun. So get hooked on phonics and take the mystery out of learning to read. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
Hockey players at National Sports Center, you'll find names like Bauer, CCM, Cooper, Micron, and more. Get the lowest price at National Sports Center in Windsor. Sticks, skates, protective equipment, all duty-free.
Start your morning with J.P. McCarthy, 6 to 10 on WJR.
Well, here we go now. The Birds coming to bat against Mark Leiter. In the 7th inning, it'll be Juan Bell to lead off. He's had a fly to left and a double.
Second baseman, Juan Bell.
The long ball has dominated the action. The Tigers have a couple of home runs, one by Livingstone, one by Whitaker. Baltimore has a double by Ripken, a triple by Davis, a home run by Martinez, and a double by Bell. They also have a single by Devereaux. So here's Juan Bell, the left-hand batter waiting. And Leiter fires a fastball in for a strike. RBIs for Baltimore. Ursulak has one with a sacrifice. Chito Martinez, 2 on a home run. Here's the pitch. Swing, a little tapper, fouled in the dirt back of the plate. John Habel, the much-traveled Tiger fan, is here from Wichita, and he's sending greetings back to Dan Gilmore at the Cypress Club, where we have a fine following of the Tigers out there. Here's the pitch. It's a ball outside, 1-2. Boy, that smoke and the aroma from it reminds me of old Comiskey Park, where they had all those different foods. Here's a ball outside, 2-2. Mark Leiter on the mound, delivers, and there's a ball wide. Is Comiskey Park the only park at the concession stands at the old one that sold whiskey? I haven't seen that anywhere except there. Have you?
I haven't either. I'm also not shopping for it either.
Yeah. 3-2. That's the count. Here it comes, and he fouls it away back toward the press box. That's Ernie Tyler, who takes care of the baseballs down there, getting a little good-natured ribbing because he didn't have that one cleanly. He's been here even before Memorial Stadium opened.
Yep.
Here's the pitch on the way. Swing, a line shot, base hit. Past the glove of Leiter on into the outfield. Bell gets his second hit. And he is the first Oriole with 2. Top of the batting order now. Mike Devereaux, the right-hand batting center fielder, steps up. They keep the infield and double play depth against him. The hits are even on the two sides, 6 on each, but the Birds lead 3-2. There's a throw to Salas at first base, but back in plenty time is Juan Bell. Leiter has had a great strikeout game. He has fanned a total of 10 through the first 6 innings. A lot of them on call third strikes. Now he's at the belt. He pitches. Here's a buck down the first base side. Leiter grabs it with his glove. Underhands over to Salas for the out. And on to second goes Bell on the sacrifice. Orsiluck will be at about as Sparky Anderson's coming out. He wants to make a change here. He wants to get a left-hander in there to pitch to the left-hander batting Orsiluck.
Jeff Kaiser.
It'll be Kaiser, the man from downriver. Jeff Kaiser will be coming in now to pitch for the Tigers. Leiter pitched a strong game, and he leaves with his team behind. He worked 6 out of third innings, allowed 3 runs and 6 hits, leaves a man on, walked 2, and struck out 10. So we'll see the left-hander, Mr. Kaiser, come in, and the score, Baltimore 3, Detroit 2.
Well, this may be a short stay for Jeff Kaiser coming in to face the left-handed hitting Joe Orsiluck, who may or may not hit against him, with Cal Ripken due up following. Kaiser, anyway, has trotted in from the bullpen. Meantime, they've got somebody else active out there in the bullpen. And it looks like Mike Henneman. Kevin Ritz is throwing out there. So Jeff Kaiser will take over. Very disappointed young man Mark Leiter just left the mound. He had been hoping to get one more start. He got the opportunity here this Saturday afternoon in Baltimore to get his 10th win of the year. And that's not to be. He can only be a loser, cannot be a winner now as he leaves with the Orioles in front 3-2. Leiter goes 6 1/3 innings, has given up 3 runs. He allowed just 6 hits. Mark walked 2, hit a batter, and struck out 10. That equals his career high in terms of strikeouts. Well, we're getting some more information now off the ticker, which was out for a little bit. But in Atlanta, the Braves, batting in the bottom of the 3rd inning, have added another run. They now lead 4-0 over Houston. Atlanta got 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and they've scored once, and they're still batting in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Atlanta trying to win its 8th in a row and trying to clinch at least a share of the Western Division title in the National League with a win over Houston. The Dodgers and Giants are playing at the same time, and after 2 innings in that game, at least that was our earlier report, it was no score. Morgan for the Dodgers against Trevor Wilson of San Francisco. They've completed 3 innings in that game now, and still no score. So everybody in the National League focusing on those 2 series, the one in Atlanta and the one in San Francisco. The Braves in front by a game over the Dodgers going into the last 2 games of the year. Kaiser has completed his warm-ups, and he'll be facing not a left-handed hitter, but a right-handed hitter in Dwight Evans. Ernie?
The veteran Evans stepping in. Dwight batting .269 with 6 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Baltimore on top of this one on a Saturday afternoon in Baltimore, 3-2, 7th inning. Jeff Kaiser looks him over. Now Jeff goes to the belt with his set. He pitches, and it is a wide one. Gets past the mid of Tedlin. Goes all the way to the screen, and on to third goes Juan Bell. We'll wait for the scorer. Tells us what he'll say about that one. There it is, pass ball. With a man at third, the Tigers bring their infield in. Evans trying to deliver a run for the Birds. They lead it 3-2. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. It's a wide one, fastball outside. Now Jeff Kaiser deals again. Strike. Oh, that was a good fastball on the outside corner. 2-1. Stay tuned after the game. Paul's going to have the scores for you. Kaiser ready, kicks and fires. There's a high outside breaking ball. 3-1 on Dwight Evans. Set for the left-hander. He pitches, and it is a ball low and inside, giving Evans a walk. Man on first, man on third. Here comes Ripken. Cal Jr. with a double, a walk, and a pop-up to Whitaker at second base. With runners at first and third and one out, the Tigers decide to back up their infield into double play depth. And Anderson will run for Evans at first base. And here comes Sparky out. Paul said this might be a short stint for Kaiser, and he's right. Kaiser pitches to one man, and he walks him. Sparky gets the ball from him now. Gibson is throwing in the bullpen, but it's not going to be Gibson. It's going to be a right-hander. Gaekler coming on to do the pitching. So Dan Gaekler taking over as we see the wheels begin to turn here with the pitching. He'll come on in the seventh inning with the Birds in front 3-2.
Well, Gaekler makes his second straight game appearance here. He came on in relief of the starter Scott Aldred last evening, and then pitched an inning and a third in that 14-inning contest. Gave up 2 walks, one of them an intentional pass, and that was it. He did a good job. Set the side down in order in the 8th inning last evening. Gave up a walk to the leadoff man, Davis, in the 9th. Orsulak ran for him. He was sacrificed along after an intentional pass to Segui. Gaekler left. And that's when Gibson came on and got the last 2 outs and kept that game tied and sent it into extra innings. Right now, Gaekler's job is to prevent the Orioles from scoring any more runs. They now lead the Tigers 3-2 and have runners at first and third with 1 out here in the 7th. So Dan Gaekler takes over for Jeff Kaiser. Kaiser faced one man, pinch hitter Dwight Evans, and walked him. Now Gaekler tunes up. Got one football final in that I've noted involving a Michigan team. Eastern Michigan University beat Kent State this afternoon in the Mid-America Conference by a score of 21-20. They are now in the 9th inning in Boston. If this indication is correct, although I see they put in a new pitcher lead, a pitch for Milwaukee, so that may not be the case. At any rate, the Brewers are well out in front of the Red Sox now. It is 11-4, Milwaukee leading Boston in the late stages of that game up at Fenway Park. At New York, bottom of the 5th inning in a rain delay game, the Yankees lead Cleveland 2-1. The other American League games all coming under the lights tonight. Toronto at Minnesota, Oakland at Texas, Kansas City at California, and Chicago at Seattle. Over the National League, Atlanta's finished batting in the 3rd inning. They settled for 1 run, and it's 4-0 Atlanta over Houston as the game moves into the 4th inning. Dodgers and Giants still scoreless, and they've played 3.5 innings at Candlestick Park. Here comes Cal Ripken to face Dan Gaekler.
Well, this could be a big moment in the ball game right here. The Baltimore star Ripken at the plate. Runners at first and third. The Orioles have a 1-run lead. 7th inning at 3-2. Gaekler taking over for Jeff Kaiser, who had relieved Mark Leiter. Haas and Gibson throwing in the Detroit bullpen. Tiger infield in double play depth. Gaekler looking in. Ripken with a double walk and a pop to second base. He's waiting at the plate. Here's the set by Dan. And the pitch. Ripken swings and fouls it away. Hit a hard ground foul that bounced up into the seats over past the Oriole dugout. Salas will hold on the bag over there with a pinch runner, Anderson. Mary Pettis saying greetings to her dad, Victor, back in Jello, Michigan. Strike one, the count on Ripken. Swing and the ground foul. It over toward his dad. Cal Sr. lets it roll past him. And Geckler wants a new ball. San Francisco and the Dodgers are 0-0 in the last half of the fourth. Atlanta leads Houston at Atlanta 4-0 in the fourth inning. The Phillies beat the Mets today 1-0. They shut out the Mulholland, an 8-hitter. Strike one, the count on Ripken. Here's Dan Geckler now to the set position at the mound. He pitches. Swing and a foul on the screen. Didn't hit that ball as well as he had the other two. Tigers had a 2-0 lead, and then the Baltimore took it away from them, and they lead the Tigers now 3-2. Baltimore batting in the seventh. The runners at the corners and one man out. Geckler trying to hold them off, and the tall right-hander deal. There's a swing and a miss. He got him on his slider. He tipped it to the middle settling for the out. Two down, and that'll leave it up to Sam Horn, who has been hit by a pitch, struck out, and bounced to second base. And here comes Sparky Anderson out, and he wants a left-hander. Sparky's made more changes than new parents here today, I tell you. So it's been Leiter, Kaiser, Geckler, and now who will it be? It's going to be Gibson, Paul Gibson coming on. Geckler pitched to one man. Kaiser pitched to one man. And Gibson takes over now in the seventh inning. There'll be a man at first and a man at third and two down as he enters the game. And the score, Baltimore 3, Detroit 2.
Well, Paul Gibson, entering for the second straight game here in Baltimore, worked an inning and two-thirds last evening. He came on in relief of Geckler last evening with 2 men on and 1 out in the ninth inning. He's coming on with 2 men on and 2 out here in the seventh inning of this one. And last night he got Leo Gomez to hit a fly ball to right field, on which the bench runner Joe Orsulak advanced to third base. And then got Chris Hoyles to bounce out to second, and that kept the game tied and went into extra innings. In the 10th inning, Gibson gave up a single and a walk, but left 2 men on base. Left the bases loaded, I'm sorry. He gave up 2 hits in that 10th inning and wound up leaving the bases loaded, and he left the game. Gibson with a record of 5 wins and 7 losses. Right now talking with Travis Fryman before he begins his final warm-up tosses. Geckler faced 1 man and struck him out. Cal Ripken. Now let's see if we've got anything else on the ticker that we can add to it. Up the Houston Astros finally got on the board in the top of the fourth inning of their game in Atlanta. That has cut Atlanta's lead to 4-1. A double by Andujar Cedeno scored Jeff Bagwell with Houston's only run. In that doubleheader at Chicago, in the 8th inning of the first game of a doubleheader, it's now all tied up 2-2. Bob Scanlon has come on in relief for the Cubs. At San Francisco, the Giants have put a run on the board in the bottom of the 4th inning on a single by Matt Williams, scoring Will Clark, and they now lead the Dodgers 1-0. That game is in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Giants, a game behind Atlanta, And if they lose today, if the Giants beat the Dodgers today, no matter what happens, Atlanta will clinch at least a tie for the Western Division title. It could be wrapped up this afternoon. If Atlanta wins and the Dodgers lose, then the Braves will be headed for the National League playoffs against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, Gibson is set to go, and we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Orioles. And David Segui, a switch-hitting first baseman outfielder, will be in there. Ernie?
Well, David had quite a night last night. He had singles his first 3 times up, then a walk. He also lined to second base and had a sacrifice. He hit the ball very well each time. He'll be batting right-handed against Gibson. And the Birds have him on the perches at first and third. They lead the Tigers 3-2, trying to add to that margin here in the 7th inning with 2 down. The outfield straight up on Segui. Now the set by Gibson. He's ready to pitch. And the first one from him is a low curve inside ball 1. Leiter started, then Kaiser in the 7th inning, Gekla in the 7th inning, and Gibson in the 7th inning. Not much of a lead at first base. That's Anderson leading up the bag over there, running for Evans, who batted for Orsolak. And now everybody has to put in a little stop action as Gibson steps off the slab. He wants to get himself settled in there now. Segui is batting for Sam Horn. Here's the set by Gibson. He deals. Segui hits a base hit to right. That will get a run home. Bell scores. On to second goes Anderson. It is a 4-2 lead for Baltimore. He responds with a pinch single, does Mr. Segui. Man on first, man on second. And Glenn Davis, who tripled the last time up, a triple in 3 turns, will be the batter. Two out, 2 on. A run is in, and the Baltimore's upped its lead to 4-2. Here's Davis, the ex-National Leaguer, stepping in. And they'll play the infield back on him. He looks at a high curve. Ball 1, they count on him. That's the 7th hit for Baltimore. The Tigers the Tigers have 6 hits. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, and the count is 2-0. Been a beautiful day here in Baltimore. Started out a little bit clouded, then the sun has broken through in and out throughout the afternoon. Davis digs in, 2-0 pitch on the way. He takes it, is outside the 3-0, the count on him. Salas is not on the bag with the runner over there. Segui, he's playing very wide and very deep. Means Segui, with 2 out, can get himself a large lead. It's a 3-0 count now. Let's see whether Davis is taking or not. Gibson kicks and fires, and he takes a strike. A crowd noise occasioned by a disturbance down in the right field corner. I think some of the patrons are going to be removed from the premises. Here's the set, here's the pitch, and Davis takes outside. Gibson fell down. I don't know whether he hurt himself or not. Getting up slowly and leaning over now. He might have hurt himself. The bases are loaded. After that walk, here comes Russ Miller, the Tiger trainer, out, but Gibson seems to be okay. The walk to Davis loads the bases. He's all right. Miller has reassured himself that Gibson can continue. Martinez hit a big blow in this game, a 2-run homer in the 6th inning. Not a very big guy, but he seems to pack a punch. Left-hander against the left-hander. Chito Martinez. 4-2, the Birds in the lead. They're batting in the 7th inning. They've got the bases loaded, and Chito takes it. The ball low from Gibson. Baltimore tried to get this series even. The Tigers won it in 14 innings last night, 4-2, the opener. That on a home run by Tettleton. High fastball, 2-0 on Chito Martinez. Here's the set by Paul. He pitches. There's a strike call. 2-1 the count. Anderson is at third. Segui at second. The man at first is Davis. Now the left-hander Gibson pitches. Swing. It's a foul on the screen. Make it a 2-2 count. Final game of the year tomorrow. Final game ever in this ballpark. Martinez waiting on a 2-2 pitch. It's on the way. Swings as a line drive right to Salas for the out. And that retires the side. At the end of 7, the Baltimore 4, Detroit 2.
K-Line has scored. The fans are streaming on the field. And the Tigers have won their first pennant since 19...
Ernie Harwell, the Tiger voice for 30 years. A tribute brought to you by Michigan's only member-owned not-for-profit financial institutions, credit unions.
'Cause I don't know any better. I just
The song, I Don't Know Any Better. The artist, D.J. Thomas. The writer, our man behind the mic, Ernie Harwell. Matter of fact, Ernie has written over 75 songs, 46 of which have been professionally recorded. Ernie says, nothing compares to a song. It gives me a special satisfaction I can't get anywhere else. He's also collaborated with Johnny Mercer, Mitch Ryder, and Jose Feliciano. Pretty good company.
That one is long gone. 51 homers for Cecil.
This tribute to Ernie Harwell has been presented by credit unions and the more than 3.5 million credit union members in Michigan who fondly say, thank you, Ernie.
The most common way to eliminate the sound of city traffic is to shut it out. The alternate method is to drive a Jeep Cherokee. Escape the sounds of city traffic in a legendary Jeep Cherokee with available shift-on-the-fly four-wheel drive. Jeep, an official sponsor of the '92 U.S. Olympic team. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation. There's only one Jeep.
Falling leaves, Indian summer, honey-baked brand ham, the smells and tastes of fall. Enjoy these carefree days. Serve ready-to-eat honey-baked brand ham, a delicious fall treat. Traffic every 10 minutes, mornings and afternoons on WJR Radio 760.
Here come the Tigers now. They are trailing in this one, 4-2. In the 8th inning, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. WJR Detroit, the home of the WJR News Center, getting you home every afternoon, 4 to 6:15, with news, sports, traffic, weather, and business news on the leader for information, 760 WJR. A change for Baltimore in the outfield. They'll send Anderson in there to play left. The Tigers coming to bat in the 8th inning. Fielder, Tettleton, and Barnes are the first 3 against the right-hander Mark Williamson. And we've got another disturbance down in the neighborhood, a little bit behind the Oriole dugout. 4 runs, 7 hits for Baltimore, 2 runs and 6 hits for Detroit. No errors in this game. A Tiger 2 runs came on home runs. Livingstone in the 2nd inning with nobody on, and Whitaker in the 5th inning with nobody on. Here's Fielder at the bat, and he takes a cut and misses. Oh, got by with that one. That is ruled a ball by umpire Welke. Ball on the count on Cecil. Williamson into the set position, deals a fastball low, 2-0 to count on Fielder. He's fly to left, fly to right, and drawn a base on ball. Second baseman Bell is very deep over to his right. Stopping that gap up the middle. Cecil swings. It's a high pop foul, maybe out of play. Here comes Melvin near the seat, but it'll be into the seats, and a gentleman from Havre de Grace will take that one home. Two and one, the count on Fielder. 49,289 sitting in on this one on 33rd Street. Got a shadow now that cuts across the mound, extends into left field. That ball will come out of the bright sunshine at the mound, come into the shade. Strike. Oh, that one was right through the heart of the plate. 2-2. First game final in Chicago. The Cubs edged St. Louis 3-2. Fielder waits on a 2-2 delivery. Set by the thin right-hander. He pitches. Missed the outside corner. Full count on Cecil. Outfield very, very deep here. And they're playing him straight away. The infield way back on Fielder. And the full count delivery. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a long one that's going foul, I think. Wow, upstairs. A tremendous foul drive upstairs. Did that one get there in a hurry or not? Whew. 3-2. Let's see what'll happen on the next 3-2. He just got so far out in front of that one, he drove it foul. Now Williamson goes to the set position and delivers. Here's a high fly ball to right. This one is catchable. Martinez looking up in the sun, makes the catch for the out. One up and one away in the Tiger 8. That'll bring up Tettleton, who's had a single and a couple of walks. 1 for 1 for Mickey against his old teammates. He'll be batting left-handed this trip. Well, Poole turned in a very impressive performance as a middle reliever. Came on in the 6th inning with 2 men on and nobody out, and stopped the Tiger rally potential. Here's Tettleton facing Williamson, and there's a ground foul down past Dick Trzaskowski. Tigers have Skeeter Barnes waiting on deck. Tettleton stepping back, resettling himself into the batter's box now against the pitches of Mr. Williamson. And here's one coming up, and it's over for a strike. Here's the set now by Williamson. He deals. Watch out under the chin. He buzzed one in on him. Jim Mazer from Bethesda, Maryland, a great Tiger fan, over to see his heroes in action. He moved away from Michigan back in 1984, but he still tunes in on Paul Carey when he cruises around and turns that radio on. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a high fly ball. It won't be deep enough. Martinez cruising to center field, makes the catch. And there are 2 out, both the same way. Flies to the right fielder. Skeeter Barnes will come up now. Skeeter came in to bat for Bergman and hit into a force in the 6th inning. Very versatile, Mr. Barnes at the plate, and he takes a slider wide, ball 1. Tigers looking for instant runs. They trail here in the 8th inning, 4-2. Swing, base hit, left field in the corner. Chased down by Anderson, the left fielder, and Skeeter cruises in with a 2-bagger. That's the first Tiger hit since the 5th inning when Whitaker homered. Here's Fryman. Well, the Tigers shortstop. He struck out twice. The middle time he flied to right. Pamela Bacchus DeCarmo from Laurel, Maryland, over here to see the Tigers play. And she's sending greetings back to her dad, Joe, who lives in Trenton. 89 RBIs for Fryman. It's really been a fine season for this youngster. He takes a low and it gets by the catcher, Melvin. Barnes rounding third, holds on. Now Melvin chases the ball off the screen. We'll check with the scorer.
Wild pitch.
There it is, wild pitch. Boston and Milwaukee. At Boston, Milwaukee won it big, 13-4 over the Red Sox. Mike Ignatiak, the winner, Tom Bolton, the loser. And the pitch, he takes the ball outside. 2-0 the count on Fryman. The hits are even, 7 on each side. Only Tiger with 2 hits is Lou Whitaker. Now Williamson ready again. He deals. Here's a ball outside, a slider again. The Tigers have left 7 runners. Baltimore stranded 8. Tigers have used 4 pitchers. Well, the Orioles have used 3. A lot of pitchers used in baseball these days. Here's the pitch on the way. It's a strike on the outside corner. Used to be, if you looked up on the scoreboard and saw a 4-2 game, you'd figure, well, the starters are still in there. Not anymore. Indiana 31, Michigan State nothing. That's the final. Now the 3-1 pitch is on the way. Swing, a high foul out of play, lifted toward right field and into the upper deck, and then down below. One of those upper deck outfielders thought he had a shot at that one, and he didn't. So Fryman getting back in now. The count on him is 3-2. Good close ball game here in Baltimore this afternoon. Man at third with the Tigers in 2 down. And the pitch. Swing, there's a base hit to left, and in to score will come Barnes. The ball chased to the corner by Anderson. It gets away from him, and on to second will go Fryman. And the Tigers have cut the lead to 4-3 on the RBI double by Fryman. And here comes Al Jackson out, the pitching coach. Charlie Graham was the Cub manager, and he coached at third base as well as managed the club. And one time when the Cubs were losing by 9 runs, Charlie dug a hole right back to third base coach's box and buried the lineup card. Well, they're conferring at the mound, and Deere is waiting at the plate. Let's see whether there'll be a change. I think this is just conversation out there. Yep, that's what it is. Deere came in to pinch hit in the 6th inning and drew a pass. 4 runs, 7 hits for Baltimore. 3 runs, 8 hits for Detroit. Back-to-back doubles have pulled the Tigers within 1. Fryman, the man at second base. Deere at the plate, hitting 179. He takes the ball outside. Threw him a hook. Williamson, the thin right-hander, ready to go to work now. Now the pitch on the way. Ground ball hit towards short. Ripken has it. The throw to first. He's out. Oh, that was a close play. Got him by a fraction of a second, and the inning's over. Baltimore batting in the 8th, and they lead the Tigers 4-3.
When the Johnsons of 3714 Walnut Street needed help with emergency medical care, we were there. When the Wagners of 435 Main asked about coverage for their son at the University of Oregon, again, we were there. In fact, for over 14 years, Health Plus of Michigan has made health insurance simpler and more convenient for thousands of Michigan families by offering more benefits, more advantages, and better service. That's how we became one of Michigan's largest managed health care systems. Take it from the Johnsons, the Wagners, or even the Kinsellas and Scarpettis. There's no better way to manage your family's health than through Health Plus. And now we also provide more opportunities to join. Many Michigan employees from large and small companies can choose Health Plus as their health plan. Call now and find out how your family can join the Health Plus family. In the Detroit area, 1-800-848-4844. Or in Flint, Saginaw Bay City areas, 1-800-332-9161. Health Plus. One family helping another.
Hello, I'm J.P. McCarthy. Join me Monday morning. We'll do some quarterbacking with Gary Moeller, George Perlis, and Mike O'Hara on the Lions. Remember, too, the Tigers close out the season Sunday. Sparky Anderson and I will wrap it up on Monday. And Sunday, from Baltimore, it's Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey's last Tiger game. Be listening, too, for the sound of Pavarotti warming up with a high note. If he breaks the glass, give me a call, and I'll give you a pair of Pavarotti tickets. Only on our show Monday morning here on WJR, where you don't miss a thing.
National Sports Center has a huge selection of the finest hockey equipment at the lowest prices. Find the best at National Sports Center, Devonshire Mall, Windsor. Sticks, skates, and protective equipment are duty-free.
Michigan's source for afternoon information is the WJR News Center, 4 to 6:15 on Radio 760.
New Tiger pitcher David Haas, the right-hander, takes over. It's been Leiter, Kaiser, Ginkler, Gibson, and Haas. That's 5 pitchers used by Sparky this afternoon. Leo Gomez will be the first man to face him. Leo has struck out 3 times in 3 trips. And there's a strike called on Leo. An inside fastball got the corner. The wind-up and the pitch, and he swings as a line drive to right, chased by Deere. He won't get it. It'll be off the wall. Gomez digs for 2. Deere plays the ricochet, fires it back into the infield, a double by Gomez. Bob Melvin will be the batter. The hits are even again, 8 on each side.
Melvin. The lineup gets it. 1/3 of the inning pitched. 1 hit, 1 walk.
Well, Tutland wants to have a conference with a pitcher, David Haas. He trots out there for a moment. Atlanta 5, Houston 2. Atlanta batting in the 6th inning. San Francisco batting in the 6th inning, leading Los Angeles 1-0. They're looking for the bunt. Melvin squares away and swings and fouls it away down the first base side. Strike 1 on Bob. Big breeze blowing out the left field this afternoon. We've got a bright and sunny day. Here's the set, and here's the pitch, and he cuts and fouls it off. That one came down and got Tutland on the foot, and he is hobbling around a little bit. I don't know whether this law is still on the books here in Baltimore, but the city code at one time said it was not lawful for any person to play at ball within the city. And the penalty, $1. Seen a few teams who play at ball. 4-2, the Birds in the lead. Now the set and the pitch. He takes the ball outside. After Melvin, the number 9 man in the batting order, due up Juan Bell. Haas backs off the mound, not quite sure about the sign from Tettleman. Now David checks again. The outfield is to right on the Melvin. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a low one, fastball, 2-2. Mostly night games in the American League on this date. We repeat that final from Boston. The Brewers won again. They beat Boston 13-4. And the Yankees playing Cleveland in New York lead Cleveland 3-1 to the 7th inning. Everything else is tonight except this game. Here's a strike called, and a Melvin stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by. Haas racks up the strikeout. His first, and here comes Juan Bell. George's brother has fly to left, double, and single. He'll be batting left-handed. They've got the outfield pulled away around the right. He's certainly playing him as a pull hitter. And David Haas ready to go into action. 2 for 3 for Juan this afternoon. The number 9 batter. And he takes a curve from Haas. It's low, ball 1. Right-handed deals. There's a swing and a miss. He pulled the trigger into the tune on that one.
Need the infield lights only in the top of the ninth.
Oh, that was instructions to the electrician. You may have heard in the background from the press box saying we will need only the infield lights. That's getting selected. In the bottom of he said the bottom of the ninth. Yep. He means the top of the ninth. Here's the set now. The pitch. Swing, fly ball. Deep to right. That'll go foul. Into the mezzanine. And then down below. Haas is ready now. Bell waits at the plate. It's a 1-2 pitch. He takes the ball low. Most of the field is in the shadow. Second baseman and the first baseman are in the sun. The center field and the right field are in the sun. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. He takes in the dirt. A good pickup by Tettleman. David Haas delivers. Here's a fastball in too close. He gets a walk. 2 men on, 1 man down. Haas has given up the hit. He walked 1 and struck out 1 against his 3 batters. Now, Mike Devereaux, the leadoff man, the right-hand hitter, comes up again. Mike has flied to right, struck out single, and the tap back to the pitcher. Devereaux, there are 5 vowels in that name, and he's got 3 in a row.
Kent Herbeck would like to buy one.
Yeah, they could make a deal, couldn't they? There's a ball outside. Not easy to get 3 in a row, is it?
No.
The hat trick. Ball 1, the count on Mike. 1 out, 2 men on. Here's the set, the pitch. It's a ball low. He threw him the fastball down and away. Here comes Billy Muffet. We're going to have another one of those conferences. Billy walking slowly from the Tiger dugout toward the mound. Tettleman will come over to meet with him. See if we have anything new on our scoreboard. That San Francisco Dodger game is still in the last half of the sixth. The Giants lead it 1-0. Morgan against Trevor Wilson. Houston and Atlanta. They are now in the seventh. Smoltz for Atlanta. Portugal began for Houston. And the score is Atlanta 5 and Houston 2 in the seventh. Gadd hit the game's only home run. That's the only home run in the National League so far. Now the pitch on the way. Ground ball hit foul down toward first base. In fact, except for this game at Baltimore, there's not been a home run in the major leagues. Now, later reports San Francisco got 3 in the sixth, and they lead Los Angeles 4-0 going into the seventh inning. The Dodgers getting on the brink of elimination. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball. Atlanta win, Dodger loss means it's over. 3-1 the count on Devereaux. Haas to the belt, delivers. Devereaux takes, and the bases are loaded with the walk, and here comes Sparky. That means another pitcher. Haas in one inning has given up a hit, struck a man out, and walked 2. So we'll have a new Tiger pitcher. Don't know who it'll be yet. John Cerruti, the left-hander, coming on now in the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 6th pitcher that the Tigers have used here this afternoon in Baltimore. And it's the bases loaded with birds. Cerruti takes over. Baltimore leads at 4-3.
Well, it took 14 innings to use 6 pitchers last night for the Tigers. Orioles went with just 4 last evening. Cerruti was the last pitcher to work in the game last evening. And let's hope he's the last pitcher to work in the game today, the Tigers. He came in to work the 14th inning, gave up just 1 hit while he was in there, and preserved the victory, getting a save, his second as a Tiger. Cerruti has won 3 and lost 6. David Haas has left with the bases loaded. He walked a couple, gave up the double to Leo Gomez, and got a strikeout while he was in there, working just 1/3 of an inning. Haas leaves, and now John Cerruti, the left-hander, will take over. And it'll be Frank Tanana to start the final game of the series here tomorrow against the Orioles. Bob Malacky scheduled to go for Baltimore. It will be the last game at Memorial Stadium. It will be the last game as Tiger broadcasters for Ernie Harwell and yours truly. So it will be certainly a momentous day in our lives. It'll be a special day, too. Ernie honored last evening on the field prior to the game as one of the voices of the Orioles past. And along with 3 other announcers threw out a ceremonial first pitch before the game last evening. They have special ceremonies all set for tomorrow. They're going to have 6 members of the Orioles' 1954 team, the first Oriole team, honored before the game. Bob Turley, Billy Hunter, Joe Durham, Gil Cohn, Chuck Deering, and Billy O'Dell are scheduled to be on hand for the game tomorrow, the last one to be played here before the Orioles set up shop next April at the new stadium, Orioles Park in Camden Yards, down not far from the Inner Harbor area. And Elrod Hendricks, who is the bullpen coach of the Orioles now and played for the Orioles for a number of years, will be honored before the game for having spent more games in an Orioles uniform at Memorial Stadium than anyone in club history, both as a player and as a coach. He has been in uniform here at Memorial Stadium for 1,771 games going into the final weekend. Brady Anderson will be up to face the left-hander John Cerruti. Ernie?
Bases are loaded. The Orioles have them all over the place here with Brady stepping in and the man from Amherst, John Cerruti, trying to hold him off. 4-3 Baltimore lead. There's one man down. The infield back in double play depth against Brady. He came in to run and then stayed in the play left field. Cerruti sets and kicks and pitches, and Anderson takes one at the shoulder fastball. He just spun away from it. Ball one. Well, we're going to get a change. Mercedes is running now for Gomez at third base. Cerruti gets his sign, the 1-0 pitch. Anderson waits, swings, hits a line drive to left. Here comes Mercedes to score. Right behind him is Bell. On the third now comes Devereaux. He's rounding third. He's coming home. A slide for Anderson. He's in. And 3 runs in for Baltimore. Line drive over the shortstop's head, chased by Incavilla. He couldn't quite get to it. It rolled past him to the fence, and it was a triple that cleared the bases. 7-3, the Orioles on top. They've got one out of the man at third, and here comes Cal Ripken. And the crowd is chanting MVP. Infield up on Cal. And the pitch. Swing on the ground ball. Foul. Down past third. Very close. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. This is WJR Detroit, where Captain Dennis Newbacher files his weather report from the new Bell Jet Ranger with traffic reports every 10 minutes, mornings and afternoon on the leader for traffic 760 WJR. Ripken at the bat, strike one, the count on Cal. Cerruti on the mound. This is the second batter to whom he's pitched. John takes his left hand, sets and kicks and deals. There's a pop-up foul over this way out of play. Big hit by Anderson, a bases clearing 3-bagger. That is the 9th Baltimore hit this afternoon on 33rd Street. Birds had scored in each of the last 4 innings. Beginning with the 5th, they've had 1, 2, 1, and 3 runs. Here's the stretch by Cerruti. And Ripken swings it. It's a ground ball to short. Coming home with it is Fryman. They've got Anderson in the chase. Now he's chased down by Barnes, and he's tagged out on the way to the plate, and Ripken takes second. 6-5, if you like to put him on a scorecard. It will be a fielder's choice and an RBI for Ripken. Ripken is at second base. It's not an RBI. They got him out. Seven runs, 9 hits for the Birds now. The Tigers had 3 runs at 8 hits. Here's Segui, who came in to bat for Sam Horn and stayed in the ball game. Now the pitch on the way. He takes it to strike. Birds have broken it open here in this inning. Left-hander Cerruti trying to get that third out of the 8th inning. Now he wants to check the count. Ripken coming down the line a little bit from second base. Segui 1 for 1 this afternoon. Had 3 hits last night. Swings and misses on a hook. 2 strikes on him. Sam Horn started in this spot of the batting order, the DH, and the number 4 hitter. Tigers had the early lead here. They led 2-0 going into the last half of the 5th inning. Since then, it's been all Baltimore. They've taken a 7-3 advantage. Still batting in the 8th at Memorial Stadium. Cerruti pitches. There's a ground ball, deep second. Whitaker goes to his right, has it, throws to Salas, and the inning is over. The Tigers batted the ninth, and the Orioles lead them 7-3.
Hi, we're talking with Harold Filler, owner of Harold's Pizza Express, which has just made a world record 1,000 deliveries in one day. Harold, how'd you pull it off with only one van?
Well, it's easy. You see, I keep my driver on the road at all times. But when he stops for gasoline, he only goes to a Marathon station to fill her up.
Why Marathon stations, Harold?
At Marathon stations, you can fill her up 4 ways. And it cuts down on the number of stops you have to make.
4 ways?
Yeah. First, you fill her up with high-quality Marathon gasolines. That Super M Premium really makes the van get up and go.
Ah.
Next, when the van needs an oil change or any automotive products, the driver can get it done right there. And Marathon stations offer professional service, which helps get that driver out on the road a lot quicker. Finally, when he gets hungry, Marathon has snacks and soft drinks.
Why doesn't the driver just sample the pizza in the van?
What? And eat up my profits?
Remember, there are 4 ways to fill her up at a Marathon station. Stop by today. Marathon, an American company serving America.
Monday, you'll go on an unforgettable journey, and you won't want to come home.
2 steps of raw with the bunnies. There they were, bleeding through glass in living color.
A year ago, my wife had a breakdown. I'm raising 3 children.
You look sexy today, Dad.
Critics give it an A. They call it daring, intelligent, and warming. One of the season's best. You'll be transported by I'll Fly Away, Monday at 9, 8 Central on NBC.
Sleep tight.
Honey Baked Brand Ham, the fall favorite. Special occasions deserve Honey Baked Brand Ham for its delicious taste and serving convenience. It's fully cooked. Call 689-4890. The Wolverines, the Red Wings, and the Tigers are all here on WJR.
Well, here's the 9th inning now. The Tigers trail by 4. They need a bunch of instant runs to get back in this one. And the Orioles make a change at third. The veteran infielder Hewlett takes over down there. Tim Hewlett. The Tigers will start off with Salas as the scheduled leadoff man, then Phillips, and Whitaker sets to follow in the 9th inning. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Baltimore. 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for Detroit. The line is started and went 6 1/3 innings and was touched up for the first 4 runs, and the rest came off the bullpen. Now Salas batting left-handed at the plate against the right-hander Williamson. Mark swings, ground ball wide at first. Davis tosses to the pitcher Williamson covering. 1 up and 1 down on 1 pitch in the 9th. Phillips will be the batter. Tony, the leadoff man, has had a single. He's fouled out and then struck out twice.
Tony Phillips.
Outfield around the right. He's batting left-handed. Final game here tomorrow. We hope you join us for that one. There's a strike called. Final game in this ballpark. And the final game of the season for each team. 7 runs, 9 hits for Baltimore. The Tigers have 3 runs and 8 hits. Here's a cut and a miss by Phillips. Strike 2, the count on him. Johnson, Poole, and Williamson, that's been the pitching for Johnny Oates' team. Williamson, the lean right-hander, works again, and Phillips takes a ball in the dirt. Good stop by Melvin. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Face the Tiger attack. The first 2 Tiger runs came on home runs. Livingstone and Whitaker with the bases empty. The other run came on a double by Barnes and a double by Fryman, back-to-back. That was in the 8th inning. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. He takes just off the outside corner, 2-2 on Tony. Big crowd here, 49,289. And the pitch on the way, fouled out of play. Atlanta leading Houston 5-2 in the 8th. San Francisco leading the Dodgers 4-0 in the 8th. Stays that way. The Atlantans have won the division. Here's the pitch. Tony fouls it away. Frank Tanana will pitch the final Tiger game tomorrow. Bob Malachi will be on the mound for the Orioles. Malachi 10-8. Tanana has won a dozen and lost a dozen. Well, they had a fan try to get that one out of the screen, and here comes another one. He's going to try, and the ushers don't want him to crawl up on that screen. They're going to stop that. Here's the pitch to Phillips. He swings as they drive to right. Martinez backs up and makes the catch. 2 down. That'll leave it up to Whitaker, who's hit the ball very well this afternoon. Second of a home run. He had 23 for the year. Whitaker had 18 home runs last year. The year before, he hit 28. And he takes the ball high and wide to lose. Well, the Orioles fans are getting on their feet now. They want this final out. That will even the series. Set by Williamson. He deals. Lou takes. It's high and wide. 2-0. 7 runs, 9 hits for Baltimore, 3 runs and 8 hits for Detroit. No errors in the game. Mark Williamson deals again. Whitaker takes a wide one. 3-0 the count of the Tigers' second baseman. And the set, the pitch. He's looking at the strike call right through the heart of the plate. Cal Ripken almost back a second on Lou. 3-1 pitch to Whitaker. Nope, he's going to stop in the middle of his windup. Time called by Dan Morrison, the plate umpire. Williamson ready, 3-1 delivery. Whitaker swings and pops it foul back at the plate. Here comes Melvin, but it'll be out of his reach. On the screen about halfway up. Big crowd looking for the final strike. And the pitch, he swings and fouls it away. They'll have to wait. Tigers' lead didn't last too long in this game. They had a 2-0 advantage going into the 5th inning, and then in the 5th, the Birds got one and then went ahead in the 6th. The pitch, he takes an inside fastball, and he gets a walk. That keeps the Tiger hopes alive in the ninth inning. It'll bring up Ben Cavilla. He struck out 3 times and flied to left. Williamson issues a 2-out walk to keep the Tiger hopes glimmering here in the ninth inning. And here's Zink Cavilla stepping in. Fielder waiting at the on-deck circle. Williamson deals. Swing at a high pop foul out of play. First base side in the seats. Williamson set to go again. Here it comes. In the dirt. Blocked by Melvin. He juggles it up to his mitt and holds on. Tigers on this trip have won 3 games and lost 1. They are 1 out away from making it 3-2. Williamson ready now, deals again. Swing and a miss. He reached back and blew something by him that time. That was a challenge. He swung right through the fastball. Now they're on their feet again. And the pitch. Fouled away. Got a piece of that one, hit it down in the dirt. Stay tuned for Paul Carey. He'll have a report on that Dodger Atlanta situation. Like Atlanta might clinch it this afternoon. Cavilla digs in. Williamson checks his sign. Fastball high. A little in and on that one. Pete was able to lay off that pitch and bring the count even 2-2 in the ninth inning. 7-3 Baltimore leads. 2 down. Man at first is Whitaker. Williamson ready. Deals. There's a swing and a miss, and the game's over. Baltimore wins it to even the series. The final score, the Orioles 7, the Tigers 3.
All right, we're back with more beer talk, and our next caller up is Ray from Pittsburgh. Ray, what's up?
Yeah, I was playing golf the other day.
Hey, how'd you do?
Don't ask.
Okay.
But anyway, as the day went on, conversation naturally turned to beer.
Naturally.
And we were talking about ingredients and stuff, and there was one ingredient we couldn't figure out.
What's that?
What's a hop?
Ray, I believe it's somewhere between a skip and a jump.
What?
Just kidding. Little brewing humor there. No, Ray, hops are small green buds that grow on vines, and they're used to season beer. In the case of Budweiser, a special blend of the best hops from both the U.S. and Europe are used to give Bud its distinctive flavor and aroma. And Ray, here's a little trivia to lay on your golf buddies next week.
Okay.
Only the female hops are used.
Oh, that'll give you something to think about.
Somehow I believe you will. And now a word from our sponsor.
And that's Beer Talk from Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, Missouri, world's favorite brewer.
Remember when futurists talked about the 4-day week and wondered what we'd do with all that leisure time? Well, the last futurist died in his sleep waiting for a car loan at some bank or credit union. He should have seen the future. GMAC. With GMAC, you can lease or finance that new Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, Cadillac, or GMC truck right at your GM dealers without waiting in line. Now that's as close to leisure as you're going to get. Nobody wants to get you into your new GM car or truck faster than GMAC.
National Sports Center has a huge selection of the finest hockey equipment at the lowest prices. Find the best at National Sports Center, Devonshire Mall, Windsor. Sticks, skates, and protective equipment are duty-free.
The Tigers play on Radio 76 WJR.
Well, the Orioles ended a 5-game losing streak here this afternoon. A 2-run homer by Tito Martinez in the 6th inning lifted them in front, and the Orioles went on to beat the Tigers 7-3 to square this series at a game apiece. A series that ends the season for both these clubs and ends Major League Ball here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Mark Leiter started for the Tigers, hoping to get win number 10 here this afternoon, but he wound up instead with loss number 7. He went 6 1/3 innings, was followed by Jeff Kaiser, Dan Gakeler, Paul Gibson, David Haas, and John Cerruti to the mound. And David Haas got nicked for 3 runs in his 1/3 of an inning while he was in there, giving up a hit and a couple of walks. All 3 scored on a triple by pinch hitter, or not pinch hitter, but by Brady Anderson. David Johnson started for Baltimore. He went 5 innings and left trailing. And Jim Poole came on in the 6th inning, worked an inning and 2/3 of shutout hitless relief, and wound up getting credit for the victory. He's won 3 and lost 2. Mark Williamson then worked long relief, working 2 1/3 innings, finishing it off, and he got his 4th save of the year. Williamson allowing 1 run on 2 hits. Totals in the game for Baltimore: 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Orioles left 9 on base. For the Tigers, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Tigers left 9 men on base. The game took a long 3 hours, 35 minutes, played before 49,289. I'll be back to recap the scoring after these words.
Any bank can put together a standard loan that may sound satisfactory, but Manufacturers Bank has the expertise to provide a complete range of loan options for individuals. Almost 60 years of experience as the bank where business banks has taken us far beyond the basics to create loans unique to customers' needs. Loans with flexible terms, a wide choice of mortgages, credit cards and lines of credit including home equity loans. More options are available at Manufacturers. Our expertise also guides you through this wealth of options to find the loan most appropriate for your situation, even speeding the approval process to meet your deadlines. That's the business bank advantage. So if you think all banks handle loans with the same degree of skill, see Manufacturers. They'll be able to present a loan that'll sound like it's written just for you. Get the business bank advantage at Manufacturers Bank, an equal housing lender.
In the winter, people tend to get a little under the weather, and so do their cars. But now the company you've come to rely on for home and auto insurance is offering health insurance. For your car, that is. It's the AAA Michigan Winter Car Care Inspection, free at participating Metro 25 tire centers. Think of it as preventive medicine for your car against those nasty coughs, sneezes, high temperatures, and congestion. For a free checkup, visit any participating Metro 25 tire center through October 31st. Open up your hood and say, ah. The special 12-point checkup is done while you wait. No appointment is necessary. What's more, the free winter car care inspections are an annual public service provided by AAA Michigan for members and non-members alike. And that's nothing to sneeze at. Bless you. So, if you want to give your car a clean bill of health, remember, you can't do better than all A's. Call 1-800-METRO-25 for a participating tire center near you.
Radio 760. This is WJR Detroit, the great voice of the Great Lakes. We now join University of Michigan, University of Iowa college football. In progress with Frank Beckmann and Bob Thornblade from Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City.
And we're here in Michigan, yes, Michigan, checking into checking accounts around town. So, Earl?
Yeah?
Looks like your bank gave you a nice, shiny new appliance.
Yeah, I got it with my Toast of the Town checking account.
That's great. While Dave here is...
absolutely ecstatic about the goodies for my Club 50 checking account at Great Lakes Bank Corp.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like free accidental death insurance, free credit card protection, free lost key registration.
My toaster was free.
Quiet, Earl.
Sir.
No service charges with a $100 balance. 200 free personalized checks.
Right.
Interest with a $1,000 balance. Emergency cash from a credit card when I need it.
I get Toast when I need it.
Quiet, Earl.
Sorry.
Worldwide discounts on hotels, restaurants, and movies. Cash bonuses on airfare.
While you, Earl, got an all-expense-paid toaster.
Toaster.
Well, that's very nice. So if you know what side your toast is buttered on...
don't rub it in.
You'll check out the Club 50 checking account at Great Lakes. Available to people 50 and over. Member FDIC.
Anyone want some toast?
No.
There's plenty.
Stimulating, opinionated. Kevin Joyce and Bob Hines. Nights on WJR.
Frank Beckmann along with Bob Thornblade and Warren Pierce back here in Iowa City. We welcome all of you along the network, including our flagship station, WJR in Detroit, who have been listening to the Tigers-Orioles game this afternoon. We're at halftime at Kinnick Stadium, and Michigan leads Iowa by a score of 19 to 18. And we're joined here at halftime by former Wyoming and NFL star
Conrad Dobler, who's been sharing some thoughts on football and coaches and the like. Tell everybody what you're doing now. You just told us during the break, and I had to pick myself up off the floor.
Oh, get out of here. I do the college game of the week with PA Radio Network. We're syndicated on a couple hundred radio stations nationwide. I also do my own talk show in Kansas City 5 days a week from 4 to 7. We have a lot of fun with that. In fact, this Monday night's a big night for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sure.
They're taking on the Buffalo Bills. And for some reason, I think Kansas City may do it this Monday night against the Buffalo Bills.
Come on, why?
I have mixed emotions.
How are you going to slow them down?
I live in Kansas City,
but you
Buffalo
played for Buffalo.
Paid me, a little bit of money for a couple of years up there.
Where else are you making money? Guam? You said you got a show in Guam?
I've done a radio show, 5 minutes a week, a little NFL update on what's happening here in the States for a radio station in Guam. In fact, the unique thing about it, the owner of the radio station also happens to be the Miller Beer distributor, and you know that I work with Miller Beer, too. Because it tastes great, I guess.
No, it's less filling, Conrad, less filling.
That's that, and that's it. Or something of that, the new commercials they have. Hey, I'll tell you what, unique thing about this, I wish this was being played in Kansas City because I would have my talk show filled for Monday because people would be calling in talking about Hayden Fry and his 4th down fake punt.
Yeah, that was a big play. We should tell all the listeners who weren't with us much of the first half. Hayden Fry on his own, right around midfield in the final 2 minutes of the half, 4th down and 9, decided to try a fake punt, and it failed.